I'm excited to announce that today, as of December 29, 2022, Worklayer.io business management platform is launched. It's been a hard year when we've recreated the whole application we've been using for the past 4 years at Startup Craft. The old name was Synchronos. Right now, we renamed it to secure the trademark and have a real word in this brand. Plus, we are working on the slogan to help better understand what it does. It simply houses all of the operations and processes so they don't let you transform into a beast. Well, this is experimental slogan, so we'll continue working on this. Stay in this video if you want to learn more about what it's Worklayer, how it can help your business today, and what's special about it. Hi, Volodymyr Karansky is here, and I want to walk you through the Worklayer.io. So what it is, we call it business management platform because it goes beyond the project management solutions that you can see on the market. It gives you a high-level perspective of work of the whole of your organization. It shows you the budget usage of all projects, the margin, the time usage you can see on the screen. It shows you some extra analytical information about average gross margin, budget project deviation. It lets you set up the goals on the project and many more. So to walk through some functionality, and let me drag it a little bit here. What's the main contributor to this nice information? It starts from very basic understanding of how project management tasks work, and I think you pretty heard about projects like Jira, Asana, Trello. So tasks management in its core is a building block of Worklayer. So every project consists of the tasks. We have nice views like Kanban board, the list view, we have Gantt view as well. So every task in this platform is a building block. Task can be estimated, so you can see here, and your team can track time, so you could realize what's going on, what's the progress at any given point in time. So yeah, we have a feature called timeline. We have two levels of this feature, which shows you how the company performs globally and locally. So locally on the project, like here, you can see what your team members here on the left worked at any given point in time on the time scale in your time zone. And the global timeline shows the organization performance across all the projects. So I'm just picking some dates where we have some test data to show, and it looks like that. So you see the project's logos and every team member on your team. Beyond these basic tasks management tools and having this time tracking functionality, it also has chat. So it's pretty full featured. We have mobile applications with the chat and some extra functionality to manage the tasks. And you can have a conversation in channels. You can talk in direct chats. You can make them favorite. You can do pretty much everything like you would do in the Slack. So it gets us to a point like, hey, why do you need this tool if we have Slack, if we have Asana? Like, what's the point? Just replacing with another tool? Oh, it's more to it. And let me explain why. First of all, it's integration. That means you don't need to switch between the apps to gather the information. And from our experience running the agency for the past almost 8 years was having the proper context. So when the conversation is in the channel and when you have a thread, you can't search thread, it's easy to get it lost. And there might be some important information. So instead of using threads and Slack, we have created the task chat. So it's a replacement to the conventional task comments. Here I'm just opening some random task and I can easily get the detailed information, and it looks like a chat, so it's very convenient. Plus we have added some cool perks like hotkeys, so you can easily get some room to do some tasks. Here we have a roadmap. This is another feature which lets you group the tasks in some meaningful information, which might help your managers to understand where we hit the goals, what are the current budget, what's the current usage, what's left. So all this information is gathered automatically as soon as your team tracking time, simply letting you know what they're up to, what they did at any given point in time. So in roadmap, the roadmap consists of the milestone. Right now I just went into V.25 milestone, and it works like a quote or like proposition like Proposify kind of solutions. If you didn't know, you can create a sort of projection of the project here simply by creating tasks, estimating its time. Let's say I'm going to estimate 10 hours here, and assigning the team member who has some rates, and this will automatically calculate the costs of such task. I can just go to browser back to easier, and yeah, this also has different views, so your client can get here, he can see the numbers he has to see, and you can also see it from your perspective. So what's the difference here? Instead of waltzing around and preparing specific reports for your client, you can simply give him the access, or her access, to the platform, and walk through the communication of each task of the upcoming projects together. So you can simply open each task, walk through, and figure out what's work, what's not, and adjust the quote as you see it fit. So this extra component for financial aspect helps a lot, because without it, back in those days, like when we just started, we had to use a lot of spreadsheets. We have to do a lot of manual labor to create a proposal, to adjust settings, and so on and so forth. So here we can just create a team, invite everyone, assign the rates, either it's hourly or internal, so it's not billed to the client, like project managers, quality assurance engineers, and sort of specialists, and we can allocate them to the projects, and then use this information right away to create quotes. So let's recap at this point. So we have a chat, we have tasks management, we have financial aspect with time tracking, we have the solution to generate quotes. What else? Well, we have a standard functionality to gather the timesheets, which is pretty cool. You can export it to CSV for more versatile kind of reporting. Client can also be provided the access here to see the numbers or not. So each project has a granularity when you can configure the collaborators. We call collaborators, who is not a part of your team, and they can either be allowed to see costs or not. Nice feature on top of that is invoicing. So you can go to Finance, Invoicing tab, and click New Invoice. Here you can select the projects you have, and as soon as you have details, let me check if we have, don't have client details. As soon as we have details, we can create an invoice based on the milestone, and it will automatically grab all the information, and as a result generate, let me select the transfer type. It's pretty versatile in terms of settings, and it can create this a record which can then be sent to the client, so they will see it inside the system. They can download the PDF, and we also can send a PDF via email. And just to give you a quick look of how this PDF looks like, okay, downloading, it simply puts your organization brand right there, and you save a lot of time preparing this, and it has all of the information, so it's pretty detailed as well. In the same fashion, you can also process the invoices sent from your team. Like in our business model, we use contractors, so they have to create invoices for us every month. And if you go to build section, you can see some invoices sent by your team. You can see their status and overall stats as well. And you can also download the PDF, which is pretty convenient as well, because you can have this registry for client invoice registry and contractors invoice registry. The expenses feature we're working right now will allow in the near future, hopefully in January, to get the information from the bank and help alleviate the accounting to make it more automatic, instead of doing the reconciliation manually with your accountant in platforms like QuickBooks or Xero. Now, on top of that, we have some nice dashboards in each project, which can give you more information about what's going on in terms of progress. And again, we have this aspect of company and client view everywhere, so you can see how the client would see this information. Do you want them to see this information at all? You can simply turn the costs off, and they won't see any financial information, just time. And it's still pretty nice source of information. You can ignore manual reports, nobody likes them, right? So here you can see the budget usage across the team member. You just see the total budget used, the time, the tasks completed, and also the team allocated to the projects. We have different views for that, like for roles, if you have departments like software engineers, designers, like marketing specialists, or stages. If you're into stages and the pipeline, it also can generate the information here. Of course, we also have a Gantt chart, which provides pretty nice information. By the way, I just clicked the task and it moved me in the full screen. It's because it's designed this way. If you want to see the tasks shown in the side panel, we have the nice option which would allow you to, let's say, click on the Gantt timeline and see the task details right here. And we are working on the grouping to have even more settings and get more precise information at a given point in time. We have also pretty powerful filtering system, these templates, which can allow you to create the projects and custom filters, so you can easily apply them without worry to lose these precious settings and jump easily between the dates. Now, we also have some nice features that we believe is more convenient than in Slack. For instance, we have Inbox, which collects all the information from all of your workspaces, so you can have a single place when you can get all the information about what's on your plate, and you can actually start the day from it. And we're also gonna add shortly the global projects management view, so you can simply pin some projects and hide the others you don't need right now. We have this client's sort of like CRM page, which shows you what projects are bundled on the specific client, and you can also click, you can see archived clients there first of all, and you can also add some information which can be used then when you generate the invoice to these clients if you use it in our system. Finally, we've built it based on our experience working in Startup Craft software company. You can check in the link above what it is all about. It's simply a custom software development company. And in this business, we have a lot of partners. So Synchronoss, sorry, it's an old title, so I probably sometimes will call it. So WorkLayer has an opportunity to work through multiple organizations. You can create multiple organizations on your own, or you can be invited by those. So we have partners like someone who does, let's say, the graphics job for us, and we can interconnect, we can send invoices to each other like cross organizations, and we can communicate inside one space. It's very similar to what Slack does with the share it channels, but it goes beyond this as we have a full featured functionality out of the box. You can have tasks here. We can even move the tasks between these organizations. So it's also was pretty convenient case when our clients used WorkLayer for themselves. They worked on the roadmap, then they figured out, okay, these 5 tasks out of 10 are prioritized, and we want to Startup Craft to take it into their job. So they simply select these tasks here, they sync the status, so whenever we mark it as completed, it will be updated in their organization. We created a dependency so they can easily traverse between the tasks, and it just works so seamlessly that you don't need to track the progress. It's updated automatically because it's our job to keep things up to date, and for them, they just automatically see stuff being done from their perspective. So at this point you might think, well, there's so many stuff going on here, and that's right. But what makes us different from other companies is that you don't need to know all of the features and understand all of the functionality aspects to start working with the WorkLayer. It's designed in a very, very simple fashion. You start with creating a project when you do the onboarding, and then you can simply start the learning platform as you use it. It's very intuitive, as it's the user experience was constructed from what people already using, which we believe is beautiful, but just lacks this integration. And on top of that, we have integration via Zapier, so you can connect more tools to make your workflow more efficient. We also have a custom GitHub integration, which lets us see some custom messages coming inside the chats, which is also nice and necessary, at least for our organizations. And we plan to add any more features starting with custom dashboards, so you don't have to go to Workload to see all of that stuff. You can just construct it the way you love it, and adding video calls as well. So I hope you enjoyed this quick overview. Please like the video if you do, and leave a comment. And if you want to learn more about WorkLayer, our development progress, new features, guides, tips and tricks about how we use it running our business, please subscribe and stay tuned.